Okay. So you should see on the screen, I have a kvCore slide presentation. So like I said, the purpose of our 12 o'clock meetings between now and the end of the year for Leaders Edge is to, if you're brand new to EXP, to Leaders Edge, if you're brand new to a team within our group, or if you are not brand new, but recognize that it's time to sort of really get plugged into this platform and understand the power of kvCore, what it can do for your business, then you're in the right place. Just to give you a sense of what we're going to be looking to accomplish with our trainings. So every Wednesday, we meet at 10 a.m. To do some sort of training around a different topic. And you'll notice that for the rest of the year, when we get to the second half of November and into December, there are components of the kvCore training that are going to sort of be next level. So database best practices, optimizing open house. And there's another one, building newsletters, which is really cool, something you can do in kvCore. But there's a lot that you need to learn about this platform before you're necessarily ready for those things. And that's what our 12 o'clock training is going to be about. So every Wednesday, beginning November 1st and running through the end of the year with a couple of exceptions around triple play and the holiday, we are going to take you absolutely from the beginning so that if you need to even know how to activate your account, that's where you are today. That's what we're going to help you do. Setting up your profile, personalizing your website. I'm going to show you how to navigate all of the different functionality that exists in this platform because it really is an incredible tool. And the fact that we're getting this tool included in our $85 a month is pretty special because I think it would be somewhere between $250 and $350 a month if we just purchased it outright as an individual subscriber. Okay. So what is kvCore? What are like the big things that you're looking to accomplish by dialing into this platform? This is going to be your client database tool. So it's a place for you to track the people that you know, add the people that you come to know, and then hopefully pull in new people as you continue to grow in the business and generate leads. It's also going to be your public facing website. You get a website from EXP that ties into kvCore, and you'll learn how to manage that and leverage that in some cool ways. It's also going to be a place where you can build marketing platforms that work on automation. So when you can't be in front of everybody all of the time, you can leverage the technology behind these database tools to help stay in front of your clients by delivering messages to them through email, through text message, through voice drop. And then ultimately, the goal is to not only be in front of the people that you know, but to bring new people in to generate leads. And I'm going to show you how this platform, how kvCore can do that, and how if you choose, you can even expand on it and do more, pay more to actually pull leads in that can help you buy and sell real estate. Okay.
I don't know if it could just
make sure everybody's muted. If I could just remind you, if you're not, to just go ahead and mute. And so let me show you what we're going to accomplish today. First things first, you do have to request to activate your account. So if you haven't done that, I want to show you where to go to get that done. There is a website that should become one of your favorites quickly if it hasn't already. It's called EXP Enterprise. And I'm actually going to, let me just take you from the beginning so you can see exactly what that looks like. You're going to go to expenterprise.com and you're going to click this sign in button, sign into Enterprise. Okay, you're going to use your EXP email and your passport password to get in there. And when you do, you want to look on the left-hand side to find something called optional services. Now, just as an aside, if you've never gone to Enterprise before, this is definitely an important site that you want to bookmark because you want to go back and take a look at it later. This is going to be your gateway to so many other platforms that EXP provides, including your ShareWorks account. This is a really easy way to get into your stock account if you need it. And it's a great way to get into other things like the marketing center, the mentoring center, and so forth. But for today, what we're interested in is going down to optional services on the left from your login. And this is where you'll see two things, kvCore and Verbella. Verbella has to do with some of the public spaces that EXP can leverage around the world. What we're really interested in right here is kvCore. When you come here, if you see a sign up button here on the right-hand side, then that means that you need to request that your account be set up. If you see, like mine, that I have some information here referencing when my account was set up, then you know you've already done this and you just have to figure out how to log in. Okay. When you go through, it'll prompt you for a couple of things. I think it's going to ask you for your name and email. I think it's going to ask you for your primary MLS. And it's also going to tell you that it takes 7 to 10 business days to turn around. Generally, in my experience over the last 3 years, it takes a lot less than that. So don't panic. But that's exactly why we're doing this today, 2 weeks ahead of when we're really going to get started on this, kvCore for beginners, where we're really going to dive in. Because when we dive in 2 weeks from today, I don't want anybody to feel like they're behind the 8 ball and can't get started doing what you're learning because your account isn't active. Okay. So that's the first step. So there are a couple of other things that I just want to recommend that you work on. And this is where we're going to lay the groundwork for this today, again, so that you can be prepping over the next 2 weeks to be ready for that first class. If you belong to multiple MLSs, what's really cool about your website with EXP is that you can feed those multiple MLSs into your one account, into your one website. Okay. So if you take a look at my website, every website will reference at the bottom MLS disclaimers. So if you have multiple MLSs feeding into your site, you'll see multiple disclaimers here. You do need, just like you need to request to activate your account, there's something that you need to do to request multiple MLSs to feed into your kvCore website. Okay. I'm going to drop this link in the chat. And then I'm also going to include it in the slide presentation. And Rose, I'll share this with you if you want to share it with any agents, certainly on the teams that we're providing training to, that you can go and pull this form. You'll just want to review this presentation. You don't have to read it slide for slide, but you'll want to go to the end of the presentation. Understand that in the past, this wasn't always available to EXP agents at no cost. In the past, if you wanted to add additional MLSs beyond your primary, you had to pay for that. Now you do not. So a lot of what you're seeing here is specifically around changing from the old way to the new way. What you want to look for is here, the request to click here for the form to enter your information to get those additional feeds working. So once you get the notification that your kvCore account is active, this is another step that you can take in advance of our training beginning to get the ball rolling so that you're, again, hitting the ground running, implementing what you're learning once we get started. Okay. The other thing that you can do with your kvCore website is you can add a lender resource. I currently don't have a lender resource turned on. Let me see if I might be able to find, see if Gail has a, there we go. You have the option. You don't have to. She doesn't. You do not have to, but you can add a lender resource that will layer on additional functionality with your website. It'll give your lender almost like it's his or her own custom page within your site. It'll give the consumer the ability to contact that lender or to click a button to get to that lender's website if they wanted to immediately apply for a mortgage or obtain a pre-approval. So again, if you're trying to build out your website to be sort of a robust landing strip for your consumers, to be a place where they can search real estate and then get access to all of these other tools, resources, and partners, then that's something that you might want to turn on. It's important, though, that you go through the process ahead of time to submit your lender partner's name to EXP. So if that has not been done, if you reach out to the, maybe a loan officer that you work with pretty regularly, if you reach out to them and say, would you like to become part of our EXP lender database, then they just have to go through and request their own account. It will not cost your lender partner any money. And just so you understand, what will happen here is once they go ahead and click the link and activate their account, they then become visible not just to you, but to anybody in that MLS area where they have been tagged coming in as a new lender partner. So, if you bring in Joe Smith and you and I are in the same MLS area, then I could also see Joe Smith and I could elect to activate Joe Smith on my website just the same that you can. What that will do is give Joe Smith the ability to receive leads and to sort of share in the lead nurturing process. Okay. So that if you're coming at it from both a lending and a sales angle, hopefully you'll have better odds at converting that lead to ultimately client and contract. Okay. So there's a link though for this too. So I'm going to take both of these links just before we wrap up today and make sure that they're dropped in the chat. And again, the linkables are also on the PowerPoint that the teams will distribute for anybody who wants to take part in this training session. So those are two things. While you're activating your account, you can also be getting the ball rolling there. The last thing that I would say in terms of preparation that is really helpful to do ahead of time is to get a few things together. And a lot of these you're going to have, sort of readily available, but a couple of things probably not. At least that's been my experience. A lot of agents don't know their license number off the top of their head and maybe haven't taken the time to generate a robust personal bio. So those are two things you want to make sure that you do. If you were on our AI training this morning, hopefully you've been inspired to see what ChatGPT can do to help add the word robust into your bio. If it's not something that you like to do, talking about yourself, then leverage ChatGPT to give it all the pomp and circumstance that it deserves. So because you will have an opportunity to put your bio on your website, and you want to make sure that people feel on many different levels that they can connect or relate to you. That will help attract new business. The other thing you'll want to have handy when we start that training in 2 weeks is all of your links to your different social media accounts. Facebook, Instagram, of course, but don't forget about LinkedIn. If you have a presence on Twitter, which I guess now is X, or Pinterest, also have those profile links as well. What will happen once we get started, I will show you just real quick kind of what it looks like. But when you're logged into the dashboard, this is sort of the behind the scenes of your kvCore account. What we're going to be working on in week 1 of our actual live training is building out our profile, taking care of all of these household chores that we need to get started before we can get to the fun stuff of customizing our website and getting going with our database. Okay. So it's great if you can have all of those ducks in a row ahead of time. It will make that first week go much smoother and help you feel like you're really able to engage week to week with where we are in the training. Okay. So that's really all that we're covering today. And I would love to just, if you have questions or if you have concerns about, things that agents are providing in terms of feedback that you want to make sure that we cover, then certainly I can address that and make sure that we do incorporate that into what we're doing. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and put these links. The last one, just in case you didn't get it, is I'll go ahead and put in the EXP Enterprise link so that you can quickly get in there and activate your account. Okay, so for anybody who's checking this out ahead of time, again, those are the things that you want to concentrate on so that when we get back to that first class, which will be November 1st, we're going to concentrate on taking all those pieces, all those things that you've done ahead of time, getting your profile started. And then I always have a lot of fun with personalizing website. I think that's, it's true that you don't need to be an expert in some of these things to be able to learn the technology and give it your personal flair. So we're going to have some fun, and then we're going to get into the nitty gritty, and you're really going to start sort of by mid-November, start to see how this platform really works for you. The one other thing that I'll throw out there, because this is, again, a great time to do it, and so many people that are coming into these trainings are coming into it without having really leveraged an organized, technology-driven database before. If you are the type of person that is working from, you have your list of contacts in your phone, you have a box of business cards, you have Post-it notes all over the place, you're not alone. But part of what will really benefit you is by bringing all of those pieces of information together and building out true digital database, an electronic database that you can manage in kvCore. So start to think over the next 2 weeks how you can assemble all that information. Most important thing is first and last name, email address, and cell phone number. If you only have email address or cell phone, that's okay. You can totally work with that with kvCore, but you do need at least one or the other. So that's the one last thing I would say in the back of your minds is start to think about how you're going to organize all the people that you know. And if you don't even have anywhere to start, take 10 minutes a day, every day for the next 14 days and write down a few names on a piece of paper or in your phone, in your notes, somewhere. Because once you start to really give it thought and energy, you're going to realize just how many people you know and how many people you should be getting in front of on a regular basis. And then we're going to teach you how to do that. Okay. So there's your homework. 2 weeks to do it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. The last thing I'll do is just drop my email and cell phone number in the chat. I'm happy to help you with any of these setup issues or challenges that you might have, or if you are having any struggles accessing either Enterprise or your kvCore account once it's established. I'm here to help. So reach out, and then I hope that you'll join us on November 1st and get started and leverage this technology. Totally tremendous value, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of value and potential commission income in that $85 a month. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Can I answer anything before we wrap up? If not, I'm going to go ahead and share this presentation, make sure it's out on the YouTube channel, and I will see you in 2 weeks for kvCore for Beginners.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.